Okay, I'm going to do a problem similar to the one that talks about the braces and everything that's in your book, so that you can do that one all by yourself. I'm going to do this one. I've got a triangle here, and I know the length of this leg is 3, and the length of that leg is 4, and I'm going to look for the length of the hypotenuse. And so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. If you remember, the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It is not the same as this a and this b. Those are the angle measures. This a and b is what we're going to be using for the 3 and 4. Your book also uses a and b, but please try not to get those confused. We're talking about the lengths of the sides. So we're going to plug in 3 squared here plus 4 squared equals c squared. You've done this before. We did this together. So we just multiply this out to make it 9. Multiply that out to be 16. So we got 25 equals c squared. Take the square root, and c equals 5. So we now know that the length right here is 5. Now let me clear some space so we can find the angle measures over here. Okay, one of the questions in your book is asking you the names of these sides here. And compared to A, the 3 over there is the opposite, and the 4 is the adjacent. So if we have opposite and we have adjacent, you have to think back, and opposite over adjacent is the same as tangent. So we're going to use tangent to find the measure of A. So the tangent of A is the opposite over the adjacent, which is the opposite is 3, adjacent is 4, so we'll have 3 over 4. So you'll put the 3 over 4 on your calculator, and you should get 0.75. So you'll now go to your little chart, and you'll look down the tangent column, and you'll find that it is the 0.75. 0.75 means that A is 37 degrees. Now there is a relationship between these two angles, A and B. This is also another question in your book there. And prior to this lesson, you learned that the angle measures of all 3 of these angles add up to 180 degrees. And if that angle is 90, what's left over is another 90 degrees. So that means that A and B have to add up to 90 degrees. If you know that A is 37, all we have to do is subtract this 37 from 90, and we'll have our B value. So that would make B equal to 53, because that's just subtracted. But your textbook wants you to check this by using the tangent. So that's why it says to use tangent to find side B. So let's do that. So we're going to write tangent of B equals. Remember, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so let's look over here at our triangle. The opposite of B is 4, and the adjacent to B is 3. So we're going to have 4 over 3. If you put 4 over 3 into your calculator, you're going to get 1.33. Repeating. And now you're going to go to your chart and look up that on tangent. And when you do that, you should get that the b value is 53. I would suggest that now that I've gone through this, you start this video again with a piece of paper in front of you, your notebook that you take notes on, and I would suggest that you start this video all over again and take notes and write down and do it as I go. But there are times when I tell you to do something in your calculator, and I would pause this and put it into your calculator and check me as I go along. And I would also suggest that you pause this and go to your chart and look it up like I did. You're going to remember it much better if you do that. I hope this has helped.